Hey everyone, today I'm going to make a video on how I like to draw on Procreate. I know I already made a video on how to draw, but I wanted to make another video, and this time I'm going to show you how to use Procreate rather than the old program I was using, IBS Paint. Procreate has quite a few interesting tools that I find makes drawing much simpler. So along with showing you how to use those tools, I'm also going to show you some of my little tricks when drawing. You need to organize your layers in a way that works for your artistic needs. My artistic needs demands I have to create like this. Once you've created your layers, now it's time to start with the red face. Or it could be called the skeleton. Now a couple tricks for when drawing the head. I like to first create a circle. Now in order to make a circle, what you do is that you first create what looks to be a circle. It does not have to be perfect. Once your quote-unquote circle is complete, don't move and wait until the program turns it into a circle or an ellipse if it's not a perfect circle, because it's really picky. This time I'm going for a bit more of an anime style. So after you draw the circle, which will be the main part of the skull, then you draw the jawline, which doesn't have to be perfect. It's just straight lines that will be similar to the jawline. Bonus tip, the tool used to make the circle can actually be used to make squares, lines, arcs, and other kinds of shapes. You just have to try and experiment with them. Always make sure to hold your line once it's complete. The next layer we're going to work on is going to be the blue base layer. And this is just going to be the muscle. I feel like this part is pretty straightforward. You just have to draw the similar shape to the muscles. You don't have to focus on the clothing, you just have to focus on how the body would appear. And you can split it up like I did into different pieces. One for the chest, one for the different sides of arms, elbows, shoulder, hip, waist, and all the other parts necessary to create whatever human, animal, or even creature that you want to make. After the blue base, you want to create the sketch, which is just going to be a rough draft of what your final piece is going to look like. I like to use a lighter color of gray for the sketch and then remove the background, just so that it's easier for me to see the difference. Another thing is that the sketch does not have to be perfect. Like I said, it's a rough draft, so that means it can be as sketchy or as rough as you need it to be. As long as you can get an idea of what your final piece is going to look like, it's perfect. I just use this because it looks a whole lot better and is just a whole lot easier rather than using one smooth line. Once again, this is just my preference. You can use whatever you want or whatever you believe is the easiest. Now, typically after the sketching, you would work on the main, which will be just the lines of the image. For this image, I didn't do that. I don't know why, I just didn't feel like doing it. Ooh. Once you're done with the main, or if you just decide to skip that all together like I did, then you can work on the coloring. You can use bucket tool by tapping and holding the color icon on the top right corner and then dragging it to whatever spot you want. You have to just remember, like with any good bucket tool, the coloring area you're using has to be within an enclosed area. With the coloring layer, I drew a couple of lines just to help me see where the arm starts and ends, just to help me out a little bit. After coloring, you work on lighting and shading. I like to work on shading first, then the lighting, and you don't have to use this step, but I like to give my characters a bit of depth. I'd say with shading, just choose where your light source is coming from, and then drawing darker shades on the opposite side. Just play with colors and with looks, and eventually you'll get your style. Now with shading, I personally like to use the airbrush tool just because it creates that nice smooth effect. The next step is lighting. Now for myself, I like to, once again, choose where my light source is coming from, which you should have already chosen with shading, and then drawing a nice bright color on top of it. Then, once your light is created, go into the layers and make the opacity lower. Basically, just make it look a little bit more see-through. That way, it just seems a little bit more natural and not just some bright paint you just splashed onto your character. Then all you have to do is work on the background and you can just change it however you want. I like to use tools that the program has to offer, like for example clouds to create clouds, and I just like to use a smudge tool to create the sky. Then you sign and your art piece is complete. Drawing and using other programs is really about just being creative and finding what works for you, and don't ever be afraid to explore. And if you realize you made a mistake, that's fine, you can always go back and fix it. And as long as you can learn from your mistake and you're willing to admit that you made a mistake, it's completely natural. And also, you're human. So shut up, anxiety. And don't forget to always have fun and to always stay awesome. Thanks for clicking on this video. See you in the next one. Why am I so cheesy? Stay tuned for more fails. Hey everyone, I'm going to be... The next step is to create the blue base. Shading is really just playing with your character and just darker colors. I'm messing up. Drawing and using other programs is really just about you. I keep on messing this up. Help me.